these are called?
A monstrance.
Right, a monstrance. And what do monstrances usually hold?
The Jesus.
Right, Jesus in the Eucharist. And maybe you've seen these in your church for adoration. We made these today to celebrate the body and blood of Jesus, which is a feast day coming up on this Sunday. But of course you can make these for any other kind of celebration where you want to remember Jesus in the Eucharist and how he's displayed in these beautiful monstrances. And what's kind of special about our, of course we don't have real Eucharist, but what do we have in ours?
A little picture of Jesus.
Right, so we can remember that that's Jesus there. And we're so happy with how these turned out. I think they're just beautiful. And if you don't have the chance to see a procession or even see an adoration of Jesus, you can remember that, you know, Jesus is present in the Eucharist in a beautiful way and by displaying this in your home. All right, so let's get started.
Cardstock paper and then some scissors and hole puncher and black paper and a paintbrush, gold paint and glitter.
Optional?
Yeah. And pictures of Jesus.
Yeah, I need a picture for Jesus. All right, so let's get started. Now we're going to make the bottom part of the monstrance first by making the template for that or the stencil for that. And that's the part that kind of looks like this, you know, like the bottom of like a goblet or like a candlestick holder. So you want the blue piece?
Mm-hmm.
And it might take us a couple times to do it, but we're going to take a piece of paper, and we used a heavier paper. This is actually scrap paper. And we're going to fold it in half because it doesn't matter what this paper looks like because
this is
just going to be on the outside. This is going to be your stencil. Now this black paper is the background. So you just want the, you want your candlestick to come up maybe a third of the way. So we're going to cut yours about right here, and then you can, you know how you want to make the bottom part of it yet? Have you thought about it yet?
No.
Maybe we should draw it with pencil first before you start cutting. Add that to your list of things you need. Go get a pencil. And I'm going to do mine out of this scrap piece of paper. I'm folding in half this way. And it's going to come up, you know, about this high on the paper. So I'm going to cut it here. Nope, but I'll show you mine and then you can make it like that. It don't have to be really big. All right, so, and the reason why we're cutting the paper is because, you know, it's symmetrical, and that'll make it look very even. All right, so our bottom, let's see, we want it to look like, you need a base here. Come in like this, maybe like this, and then out like that. Now you're going to want to leave a little bit of room on the top and bottom so that you can paint that part. So that's what mine sort of looks like. See that? Start out here. Think of like a half of a cup or a candlestick. I'm going to cut mine out. Here. Like, oh, you got the small one. Here's the big one. So here, you can make those squiggles any way you like. So here's what this looks like, and Esther says she doesn't like the one that she did, so we're going to try that again, which is perfectly fine. Get another piece of cardstock. Let's just use this part right here. This is like a manila folder. Okay, now if you want it to be skinnier, don't make it out so far, you know, that way. And leave a little bit of room on the top, and room on the bottom like that. You go like this. There, that's good. Way out on the bottom. Good. Oh. You're going to want to maybe tape it down, or if you're real careful, you can hold it down. I'm especially going to tape this upper edge because that's where the paint's going to go, or be tempted to go. And we're going to use gold paint on ours. And then we'll sprinkle some glitter on the wet paint. Or you can wait for the paint to dry and put some glue on and put the glitter on then. We'll see how it sticks to the wet paint though. And we don't use a lot of gold paint in this part, so we're just going to use the lid. Okay, good. Would you rather have this one? You can have that one, that's fine. We're trading. You'll see, it doesn't really have to be perfect. Give me a piece of tape. All right, and we're going to use, we're just going to use the lid, even our paintbrushes are bigger. Do you have a little cup we can use somewhere? All right, we're just going to try it with the lid then. You want to use that brush. Yeah, paint it in on both sides so that it's, make your strokes go in like this so that it doesn't get underneath. There. So we're going to let this dry and probably apply a second coat. Okay, I'm going to add this final coat here, and I'm going to put a little bit of glitter on mine now. I'm happy with my second coat. Not sure how much this will stick to the paint, but we can try. Like I said, we can always put the glue on later. You want to sprinkle some glitter on yours?
Yes.
All right. Here. This right here, because we're going to be using these gold brushes again when we go to paint the round part of the Monstrance. And we're going to make the round part of the Monstrance. And we're going to do that by making a snowflake. And we're going to keep in mind that we're going to want to make the snowflake like it's going to look like that starburst, because that's kind of what that looks like. So you can take a regular piece of paper, and we want a round snowflake, so we don't want like a square one. So to make a round one, you're going to first start with a regular piece of paper and actually fold it in this way. Here, like this, first of all. Take that square, take that back out.
Oh, yeah.
We've got to make it a perfect square. So this is how you make a perfect square out of a piece of paper. You fold this up here, and then we're going to cut this piece off. You got your square? Okay, now we're going to make this into a round top of the Monstrance. I don't know if that has a proper title or anything. Our starburst. So you're going to fold this triangle like this, and then you're going to fold it again. Yeah, this is how we do it. If you want to try it differently, you can, but this is how you do it. Watch. Keep going like this. This is making a circle for it. This makes a perfect circle. Then you have this, right? It's going to be a lot of paper you're going to have to cut through. All right, so this corner down here that's got all of this, all the folds. Okay, so the heavier part, one more fold this way, and you're going to see that it doesn't line up. Okay, that's going to make the circle right there. Now you might want to use the big scissors to cut this part off here. Here, use these ones this time. Now, if you open this up, I'll show you. You don't have to open yours. Don't open yours up, because you're going to cut that. If you open this up, here's your circle. See? And this circle is just a little bit big drawn here, but we want it just to be a little bit on the oversized side, so that's okay.
It's huge.
It is huge, but this will still work okay. We can still cut it down a little bit more. So if you want to, keep it all folded back up how it was. Don't unfold it. Because we've got to make it look all the fancy things on the end of it.
It's not really Jesus.
Did you keep yours all folded up? You might want to use the big scissors.
I can do it.
Okay, so now when you make it into the monstrous part of it, they often have like spiky things sticking up. So I'm going to cut, and it's going to make it a little bit shorter. I'm going to make it just pointy like this. And by making one cut in it like this, it's going to make it pointy. Here's one of mine that, like I said, we're going to experiment with some of these. And you can experiment too and do a bunch of them until you get one that you like that you're going to want to paint gold. And you know, and take some practice. You've got to figure out what it's going to be like.
So now we are going to paint our snowflake kind of.
Yes, and we made a bunch of them here. Let me hold this in the background so you can see. Here's one kind.
And here's another.
Another one that Esther made. So you can cut out a few and experiment with them and see. So then you can pick which one that you want to use for the top of your monstrance. And then you're going to just paint that snowflake gold then is what we're doing. So you're going to want to put a piece of scrap paper underneath it. I have just some scrap paper here.
Mom, you're getting it.
I don't know which one I'm going to use either.
I like this one.
And now we have to wait for this to dry. And while we're waiting for that to dry, we're going to put the host in the middle of this.
Okay.
And we're going to do a neat thing with the little host. So you're going to get just some plain white paper again. And you could use heavier paper if you wanted. But we're going to make it like a little card. And we're going to have it open up. You want to use this scrap?
Yeah. Oh.
And we're going to have it open up. And on the inside we're going to have a real picture of Jesus so that we can remember that the host is really Jesus. And that's really Jesus in that monstrance. Alright, so we're going to cut 2 circles that are going to open up like a little card. This will look like the host, and then we'll put Jesus' picture on the inside. Wait a minute. You're going to paint it, you're going to cut I think we need to trace a circle.
Okay.
Here. Get another piece of paper here. Here's this one. So I am using, you just find anything that's round and about the size that you want your host to be. The bottom of the paint bottle is actually a really nice size. Here, so you want to use this one?
Yeah.
Now remember, keep it intact right here, so when you open it up.
I know.
Yeah, you just need just a little bit for that. And on the one side, we're going to put the little cross that's like on your host. You want to cut out mine for me too?
No. Oh, fine.
And we're going to put like a little, is this your circle you did from scratch? That's pretty good. It's good to use a pattern because we're going to use the same pattern whenever we cut out the picture of Jesus. Now you could look for holy cards, greeting cards, brochures, or just something from the church that's going to have Jesus' picture on it.
We're using a calendar.
Here, and so we're going to use our calendar. We're going to use days that have already gone past. And in our calendar this year, we happen to have one of Jesus. Where I saw it somewhere. We've got one on the front. Here's Jesus on Palm Sunday. So in April in 2019, if you have the same calendar, you've got a nice picture of Jesus. So we're going to put this on like this.
Wait, Mom.
And we're going to trace it. We're going to cut that picture of
Where's
Jesus
mine?
out. Here, you can use this one. I'm going to use the one on the front.
Okay.
And when you cut this out, Esther, do you see that pencil line? Cut it a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Okay? Because you want it to be inside of that. We forgot to say that we needed glue as one of our things that we needed. But we do need some glue. And there is a picture of Jesus on the front, so I'm going to use that one in mine. And then, so here's our host. And I'm going to put that cross on the front of that. So here's our little host, and then on the inside we've got the picture of Jesus. Now we just got to put together the monstrance. So I'm ready to take the tape off of this one. Da-da-da. That looks good. How about yours?
Oops.
Gently take that tape off because you want to rip it. Now, Corpus Christi Sunday, or the body and blood of Jesus, that's the feast where we're making this for, although you could make this for other celebrations that deal with the Eucharist. There's lots of processions, and they carry around these beautiful monstrances. And maybe you don't get to go to one, but you'll have one that you can display in your home. Looking good. Beautiful. So here's ours. We just have to put some glue on it.
Yeah.
And then glue our picture of Jesus right there in the middle. And I think those are beautiful. I think those turned out beautiful, Esther.